Today in our philanthropic moment, I'm excited to be joined by Arthur Benjamin, and we're here to discuss the Arthur E. Benjamin Foundation. Welcome, Arthur.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about the Arthur E. Benjamin Foundation, why you started it, what you do.
The reason behind it is that I believe that every human being has an obligation, if they've been a recipient of wonderful things in the world, to give back. And it really started when I studied with Buckminster Fuller, the great mathematician and philosopher.
Yeah.
He's a guy that he was ready to do away with himself. So Bucky went out on a rowboat into a lake. He didn't swim. He was a Harvard college student. He had come from one of the wealthiest New England families. He had everything in life. When he stood up to throw himself into that lake, and he had a thought, and it was as if it was a divine thought placed in his head. If I rode back in and lived my life for everyone else rather than my selfish self, if I lived life for humanity, how would life be? And when I studied with him, I realized we're all called on to do that. Some of us hear the calling, but each time I've had a win, I've found a way to create a foundation and give back. And the first was what was originally called the Butterfly Effect Foundation until that movie came out. It became a terrible thing. Okay. But like a butterfly flaps its wings in Japan and creates a beautiful day or a hurricane, there's a small thing you can do that will have a great outcome, a leverage point, so to speak. And that's why I do it, and that's why the foundation exists.
I love that. For each good deed, the ripple effect grows and the deeds grow and the goodwill is spread even more.
And other people can be motivated by it. One of the other things in my life is unique ability. It came out of a coaching program by Dan Sullivan in Chicago, and he believes that each person has a unique ability. Okay. And building teams of people with unique ability in companies, charities, in life, in families, is the most beneficial way and the most augmenting way to work together. So each person does what they do passionately and also does well. Mm-hmm. When you see a person who's in their passion, who's doing it well, you get excited and you want to do what it is you do well.
Yes.
So
the
that's
contagion.
Really, it is contagious.
I love that. I think that's one of the things I love about inspiration and motivation is that when you become inspired, you become inspiring. And I love that. So that's kind of what you're.
Yes, and I believe that every youth, every child, every young man and woman should have a mentor, someone they can look up to, someone who they can go to in hard times and talk to. And Robert Ponte was a great Dress for Success coach. Yeah. And I went to him in my early 20s and I said, how is it that I can become wealthy? And he said, if you truly want to be wealthy, do what you love to do, and wealth will follow you in one form or another. I didn't hear it exactly the way he meant it, but it really does lead to riches of all sorts.
And I love that, because there are definitely many forms of wealth, and some of them bring even more joy than others. I know, for sure. Okay, so now you also are involved in the film community here. And the arts.
I got dragged back into it.
You did get dragged back into it. Tell us your background with film and then what you do today.
Well, I grew up in a family that was in the film business. My uncle, Robert S. Benjamin, was the chairman of the board of United Artists when a group led by him took it over from Charlie Chaplin, the famous Charlie.
Wow.
Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. And they had actually run the company to a point that it was going into oblivion. So my uncle and Arthur Krim refounded United Artists as the new United Artists, and I grew up with that all around me and chose not to go into it. And then 5 years ago, someone talked me into sponsoring the Dallas Film Festival, which I do now every year.
Yes.
And I got dragged back into film, and then the next thing I knew, I was making films about mentors.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So one of the films is Jobs.
Okay.
The Life of Steve Jobs, which is coming out August 16th. It'll be here in one of the theaters in Dallas. It's going to be in, I believe it's 1,800 theaters nationwide, and it's just called Jobs.
Okay.
And I say America needs jobs.
Yes, they do.
Which we do.
Yes, we do.
But that was one of the films. Another is Stanley Marcus the great founder of Neiman Marcus.
Neiman Marcus.
We're making a film on his life.
He was an amazing man.
And a mentor. And then there's the film Champion about, look at this little guy.
He's so cute.
About dogs.
This is Bandit.
And Champion is about a dog like Bandit
Okay.
who saved the family farm, so to
Oh,
speak.
how cool.
And that's another film that I made with my co-host on For the Love of Dogs TV, Farrah
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
And so I've come full circle. And the last one that I'm working with now is on breast cancer. It's Decoding Annie Parker, which is out in charity screenings all over the world. It was just in Seattle where it won Best Actress.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was in Paris this week. And it'll be coming back here. So
Okay.
anyone who wants to get a ticket, they'll have to get the information from decodingannieparkerfilm.com.
Okay.
It'll be here on October 3rd, and it'll be at the Look Cinemas right here in North Dallas.
Why is film special to you?
Well, I believe film is a window into our soul. It's a window into our lives. It's a chance for us to re-examine what we are living for and how we are living.
How can people come and help you with your foundation?
Well, they can find out about the things that I'm involved in, and in dogs and cancer and kids and education, and get involved.
How wonderful, because you are absolutely, I don't know where you get the energy. You and the Energizer Bunny are on the same diet, and you're not sharing it with anyone else because you're everywhere.
Carrot juice.
Carrot juice. I'm going to remember that one. All right, so if you would like to find out more about Arthur Benjamin and the amazing things that this endless, tireless, energy-filled man does, check out his website at arthurebenjamin.com. Arthur, thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Leanne.
And thank you. Bandits, like it's nap time.